When I was a kid, I got religious education on Saturday mornings. I was addicted to Saturday morning cartoons. Now, this was before the days of cable channels, boys and girls, before the days of unlimited children's programming. You had to wait until Saturday morning to watch Scooby-Doo, Bugs Bunny, the Jetsons, Magilla Gorilla, the Flintstones, Casper the Friendly Ghost, Top Cat, Underdog, and Tom and Jerry, and the rest. Now maybe, just maybe, I don't have cable TV now because I used up a lifetime of TV watching when I was a little kid. Anyway, for me, Saturday mornings were very religious. Remember those cartoons where they explained how temptation works? You have a tiny little red devil on one shoulder, you see, and you have a tiny little angel with a halo on the other side, and they both look just like you, only they're miniature. And the little devil tries to get you to do bad things, while the little angel tries to get you to just say no. Now, in the cartoons, usually the devil won, and that led to, hijinks. Well, after an expensive and long theological education in seminary, I have, of course, outgrown these silly, childish ideas. But then I notice that the two voices really do speak in my heart. Sometimes I am torn between right and wrong. Apparently, it is no Looney Tune. Now, during Lent, we always hear the story of Jesus in the wilderness. He is tempted and he is tested, and he turns out to be something of a Zen master. In a nutshell, the temptations come down to this: I want more. You and I face that temptation every day. Jesus is tempted with more power, more prestige, more stuff, and so are we. One of the saddest stories I've ever heard along this line is about John D. Rockefeller. He was maybe the richest man in the world back in his day. Supposedly, one day a reporter asked him, "Mr. Rockefeller, how much money is enough?" Supposedly, Rockefeller answered, "Just a little bit more." Jesus faced that temptation. We do as well. And Rockefeller's answer is a ticket to unhappiness. Jesus is like a Zen master. There's a text from the Tao Te Ching, an ancient Chinese book of Eastern wisdom, and it goes like this: be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Now, Jesus, of course, did not say those words, but it seems to me that he certainly lived by their spirit. Pride, selfishness, wanting more than others have, these are big sins and serious temptations. Now, I can think of a wonderful antidote, a terrific strategy, a great spiritual practice: laughter. Don't take yourself so seriously. Laughter deflates our egos and pops our balloons. Laughter keeps us down to earth. As my own personal Zen master once said, "Lighten up, God boy." I might even suggest changing the name of this church season. Instead of calling it the season of Lent, how would it mess with our minds if we called this the season of laughs? I'm giving up chocolate or alcohol for laughs. I'm giving up harsh negative speech for laughs. I'm taking on some extra service projects for laughs. This might be a way for the joy of the resurrection to remain front and center where it belongs, even during Lent. Now, authority figures need this idea more than most, and that includes us clergy types. Think about it. We get the fancy robes and the exalted titles. The Reverend Mark Giroux. Really? Ask my wife. We get the seats up front in church. If we're not careful, we can start to think we really are up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. My wife loves the old story about a priest who thought he was pretty smart. It's Father John's birthday, and some of the children in the parish are giving him presents. Little Mary gives him a wrapped package, and Father John says, "Oh, I see you've given me a book, Mary." Well, the wrapped package is exactly the size and shape of a book. Mary's mother works in a bookstore, but Mary's amazed. "Wow, how did you know, Father John?" The priest says, "Oh, Father John always knows." Well then, Tommy hands the priest a package, and the package is kind of soft and squishy. Tommy's dad works in a store that's famous for its line of sweaters. "Tommy, I bet this is a sweater," says Father John. "That's right," shouts Tommy. "Father John always knows," says the priest. Well then, Billy gives the priest a slightly larger box, and the wrapping paper in one corner is a little wet, but Billy's father owns a liquor store. The priest says, "Billy, did your dad give me a bottle of scotch?" "Wrong," shouts Billy. "Well, is it a nice bottle of wine?" "Nope," says Billy. Father John's fingers are wet, so he licks him. He says, "Is it gin?" "No, Father John, I gave you a puppy." She loves that story. The moral of the story is, don't take yourself so seriously. Lighten up. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Life is too short for your religion to make you miserable. Listen for the laughter, look for the joy, and learn from the Master, the one born in a stable and tested in a wilderness and killed on a cross and then risen from death itself on the first day of the week. Amen.